Morning, Yah Royal Family. Giving honor and praises to the Most High Yah for all His blessings. Family, I wanted to draw your attention on this morning when I woke up. I came across this video by Dr. Mumby, who is someone that I follow on YouTube. And when I saw this warning, War III is coming to Africa, it alarmed me because so much that is going on that I know of. The incident that happened yesterday, and it was really odd because the three Americans that got killed, they said, and I read it in actually an article, within a video. I can't recall if on this platform or Facebook, but it says it was Al Shabaab militant, say they, group was behind that. And it just, took me to a place to say, well, all this is going on with the lawsuit surrounding the African Americans, suing the United States Gov and also the estate of Abraham Lincoln. Could this have something to do with it? So I just made a comment on her post today, and I want to share that with you all. Keep close eyes on the incident that happened in Kenya at the airport. A lot is happening in America. It's a lawsuit for African American people surrounding slavery in Mount Kenya. At Mount Zion is included in a lot of the details. The lawsuit is against the United States government and estate of Abraham Lincoln. It's very prophetic. It's inevitable. Yes, sis, it will be a war according to the Bible. Read Joel 3:16, where the Almighty will roar out of Zion. Being that is what is surfacing, that it's actually the true place where ones have came forth to indicate that they have proof that Zion isn't where they call Israel today. That it is in Mount Kenya. Yes, sis, if that's true, the final war will be in Kenya, Africa, according to Joel 3:12. So this news out of three Americans were killed in Kenya, and they say it's connected with a militant group. Just know it's more to it, which could be all staged when dealing with the West. I believe they are setting it all up for reasons to come in one day. So pay close attention, but know that the Most High is complete control. It's nothing he doesn't know. So, just to reiterate, family, a lot is, like I said, going on. So I'm going to take your attention to, I didn't get a chance to cover this yesterday. It says clarity. So evidently he was answering something back by someone may have inquired of him, which is Prince Michael. Says, can the kingdom of heaven really sue the United States for enslaving black people? The short answer is yes. The kingdom of heaven can sue the United States government for what it did and is still doing to black Americans today. In this article, I'll demonstrate how reaching that conclusion requires minimal knowledge of the justice system. And I want to say yesterday, I believe, he did his first bill. He did this legislation, which was a bill, and he shared that on Facebook yesterday. So, family is a lot, like I said, going on, and I'll go in more details, about that a little later. So let's keep the information straightforward. How can the Almighty bring illegal action against a mighty world power, such as the United States? The answer is through authorized agents of the Almighty. The next question is, what the Almighty are we talking about? And how do we know who is an authorized agent of the Almighty? If you were unaware, then you should know that the laws used to administer justice in the courts come from the Bible. The scriptures from the Bible are referred to by the justice system as authorities. These authorities were used to craft many universal accepted truth known as maxims of laws. You may also be interested in knowing the maxims of commerce because the federal courts operate around the laws of commerce. Since the laws used by the United States courts originate from the Bible, then authorized agent of God described in the Bible have a lawful right to stand in a U.S. court on behalf of any reasonable, relevant, or necessary issue relative to God's kingdom. The tricky part is how to know who is authorized by the Almighty, because even the Bible states several times there are those who say they are Jews and are not. Revelation 2:9 and Revelation 3:9. But if an authorized agent of the Almighty can come forward and properly identify itself to order to bring a claim on behalf of God's kingdom, then he has the lawful capacity to bring that action against the United States government. This is easier said than done. Now, let's zoom into the lawsuit recently filed against the United States government and the estate of Abraham Lincoln for negligence associated with the slavery of Black Americans federal case. St. Michael filed the lawsuit in the capacity of an ambassador from Mount Zion on October the 2nd, 2019. According to the Bible, Psalms 132 and 13, God chose Mount Zion to be God's home. Lawfully, this established Mount Zion as a territory of God's kingdom. For the topic, Mount Zion would actually be the best location for authorized agent of God's kingdom to originate from this work. Anywhere else could be considered as subpar. Even an agent from the Vatican would be far less credible than Mount Zion, because the Bible makes no mention of a Vatican being a territory of God. And that's actually the Vatican surrounding Rome, Italy. They're our enemies. I just added that in. He also filed several letters of appointment signed by a tribal leader from Africa's second tallest mountain, Mount Kenya, a known sacred location of the Nile Valley civilization, recognized by the United Nations headquarters since 1995. There is a video in the public domain showing this recognized leader calling St. Michael his ambassador. So he is not a self-appointed official like many good brothers doing the activism work, and nothing against him either. So yesterday he also shared about reaching out to someone who worked closely with Martin Luther King, and the words he got back was that they have never seen it like this before, how it's being done by, St. Michael. Prince Michael is being used in these writings and things he's being presenting to the United States. So that speaks volume there as well. Okay, St. Michael has a real capacity as an ambassador from Mount Kenya, representing someone other than himself. If he decides to leverage his capacity to hold the United States government accountable for slavery, then that's his choice, and God bless him. Now, there is a video with historical evidence indicating Mount Zion to be Mount Kenya, including biblical evidence. But let me go back up to this part here. Because when it says this, that he was chosen as an ambassador, representing someone other than himself, he decided to leverage his capacity to hold the United States government. So I'm looking at this is that the ones that are in Kenya, the Mount Seers, the 12 seers, they are actually, fully aware of what's happening. And I'm where I'm seeing is that, Prince Michael want to say he want to use whatever, his power to be used, but it's also connected back to them. So in actuality, a lot of information surrounding Kenya, but Prince Michael is from America, was born in America, and he is standing in the gap. So it's like they all working together, but still in the same sense, he's really on the forefront out there. And, I don't want to put this out in a negative way, but you got to know that he's being heavily, heavily surveilled. You got to understand this. Okay. So it speaks of Mount Kenya being, as far as the biblical evidence, Mount Kenya for the indigenous people, indicating that the same thing, along with growing numbers of people who are convinced that Mount Kenya is indeed the biblical Mount Zion, and that the Jews in Israel are Russian imposters to convert to the ways of authentic African Jews. So far, the location St. Michael's has placed Black Americans' case on as a foundation is arguably the best location for his action. There is, however, a more interesting and unique piece of corroborating evidence he filed on December 31st, 2019. He just went back, and that was also, I'm not sure if in the last video, I think I did, I shared it with you all, and he went back to add another, some more information, evidence surrounding, the case. The tribal leaders he represents have a public declaration, Luganda relics, that they filed identifying themselves as descendants of the Ethiopians who fled Aksum. Ethiopia is in 1180 AD. Ethiopia in 1180 AD to avoid the infamous holy wars waged on Africa by whites during the time period. Now let me go back to this part. So when I get to this part, family, I just want to put this out here because we do know that studying the Bible, Ethiopia is considered a Hamite nation. So when I get here, that's a question mark there. Now, it's been known that, or been said that King Solomon had a baby, well, not he, but Queen Sheba had a baby for King Solomon and the descendants. So when you hear of the Ethiopians, Jews, they're the ones that's supposed to be of that descended lineage coming under or from King Solomon. So I'm not sure if this is what all this means, but let's continue. He said, waged on Africa by whites during the time period. Their claim to having escaped with the Ark of the Covenant, bringing it to their holy mountain for protection, finally arriving at the mountain 30 years later in 1210 AD. What sets this group apart from others is in the same declaration, they informed the public that there were scrolls that accompanied the tablets they call Ikunju, which St. Michael's has stated would be the original scrolls of Moses. And see, the Ethiopians said they have the oldest Bible, right? So this right here also is something, of course, the that, is, and I want to say it down a little bit further. It's going to say a little bit more. Let's continue. The leaders declare that the permission is available for these strolls to be documented and reburied responsibly. Well, this makes all the difference, because if the Gakuya are in possession of the original scrolls of Moses, as declared by the Gakuya in this video, or even an older version than the Jews have in Israel, which only dates to 1250 AD, then there will be no institution on earth that can match their lawful capacity as the authorized custodians of God's scrolls and the tablet. Well, and the truth is that, 1948, they claimed they found the Dead Sea Scrolls. But the writings that the Romans took back to Rome is what the Bible was, actually came into far as been compiled. But the Jews said they found it in 1947, and then they moved into the land in 1948. But they didn't say they found it. Someone was in the area of Quorum somewhere, and they said they found it in that capacity. But it's really just ironic that they end up moving the next year, like getting all rights to go there. So they set it up to, we got the Dead Sea Scrolls. It says who, this and that, right? All right, family. So that will speak volume for the Gakuya people having it, in which that's meaning Hebrew, right? In addition, by presenting the original scrolls that created the laws used by the world governments, it will also fulfill a scripture written in Isaiah 2 and 3, where it says, the law will go forth from Zion. To add strength to their claim, in 1986, a Cherokee Indian researcher and a tradition keeper by the name of Dr. Lee Brown identified the Gakuya tribe as keepers of the sacred stone tablets for a black race in the first 5 minutes of his video. He says the black race tablets were just one set of 4 sets. Each race was given a set of stone tablets, and the Hopi are the keepers of the tablets for the red race, the native people of America. This was confirmed in 2012 when the Hopi showed their tablets to the world. Dr. Brown said the most powerful tablets were given to the black race and taken to Mount Kenya, where they are kept by the Gakuya tribe. For this to be admissible in court, it may need to be sworn testimony, but nonetheless, it is in the public record. As unusual as it may have appeared to some people, there is a legitimate action arising to hold America accountable for its atrocities against black people, and it's being spearheaded by St. Michael, Mount Zion, the kingdom of heaven, until proven otherwise. Only time will tell how it will end. For now, we'll leave you with this thought. Some people feel the kingdom of God is supposed to be some mystical place in the sky. However, we found a sensible pastor who uses scriptures to prove otherwise. So I looked at this video, and like I said, I'll share this link again. I shared it in my previous video, and a lot of my Hebrew brothers can break it down, I would say better, and I can probably find something. But he did, someone did present that, the kingdom going to be on earth, and that is actually absolutely truth. Okay, so family, I just wanted to share this with you. The incident happened in Kenya, yesterday. And it just was odd to me because it seemed like it already had happened earlier that day. But, a lot of the news people started broadcasting it all at one time. And that could be possible. Like I said, it just was like if it was already, shown to me somewhere in my dream or something that had happened. And then it just came like in a full like, place where everybody started reporting it on it at one time, like like if they just got wind of it, but it really had happened earlier. And it could have been something that I saw. I don't recall family so much going on. Anyway, so again, I wanted to bring this to your attention and let you all know what's happening, and just believe that our redemption is near. Before I woke up, well, as I was looking, I had several dreams. I saw a kneecap, and it was sewn back together, and I saw it's like if someone had, did something to someone's kneecap. I saw that in a dream. And what else did I see? That it just stuck out to me. I don't know. When I woke up, I just remember it. And then I went to sleep several times, and then I woke up again. Like I say, there are things that, I was dreaming of, and then, well, okay. So then, the last time I woke up, I was just laying here, and Father, it just put in my spirit that He's coming back to get us. He's going to redeem us, family. He's coming to redeem us. It's going to be done. We have to keep the faith and, repent and, keep the commandments, family, and seek His face. That's what we need to do. But as far as those other dreams, like I said, there are times that I'm led to say, it, and sometimes I'm not. And at this point, I know it was like 3 different things that happened, and it's just not right now surfacing back. So I'm not going to share it in here because, again, it's amazing. I've just been dreaming a whole lot, and I know that America's worried about this dealing with Iran. I saw something that about putting $80 million out for Trump. I said I wouldn't even want to Google it, because they'll be checking everybody who Googling it to say, did it really say they will pay $80 million for Trump to take him out, whatnot. I said I don't even want to Google it. But I saw 2 of my Hebrew sisters, they did a spill on it. But I was like, I don't even want to Google it, because they're going to be having your name like, oh, who, this. Oh, yeah, he looked at, so forth. So, but, yeah, they worried. They are worried. They are worried. And, as the day go by, they're going to get back in their ways, and something else going to break loose. And when these people, if they try to attempt to do something, only if the Almighty give them that line up to do it, because Father know we still here. He know that we still here, right? So nothing that they gonna be able to do unless the Almighty. So we are really, the truth be told, I might do another spill on this. We are the America leverage in so many ways. Far as off the back of our forefathers, even today, all we do and things that happen, far as we're still being utilized, because we are their leverage in so many ways. When you really sit down and think about it, we're their leverage. They know that we still here. If we weren't here, now that could be a different story. And we could be here and Father could let something happen, but He will shield and cover His own, right? So I just tell you all, I won't take no chances. Repent, seek the Most High face and keep these commandments. I won't take no chances, but I might do another spill, and I said spill, but another video on that. So you all, I'm going to get back to my cold coffee, but I will chat with you all later as the Almighty give me lead way. Blessings, family. Shalom. Shalom.